Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining in. My name is Uzair, and today I've got a very special guest and a dear friend. His name is Angus Grady. He is called the LinkedIn Unlocker. Have I got that right, Angus?
Perfect, Oz, perfect. And yeah, you are a dear friend. I've known you for a long time through networking, and it's just real privilege to be asked to do this. So great.
Not at all, not at all. And thank you for your time. Uh,
Well, a pleasure.
sure everyone is excited as well as to what tips you can give about LinkedIn. So, to introduce Angus to everyone, Angus is the go-to guy for anything to do with LinkedIn. He is an expert, and he has given me some great tips as well. Even though I don't use LinkedIn as much as I ought to, and
I know
Angus
that's frustrating.
to do this and do that and update and post, which is great because it's all good and it benefits me and my business. And LinkedIn is a great platform for any professional or business person who would like to get their name out there, generate leads or sales. But we're not going to start with LinkedIn. We're going to start with some really boring stuff first. GDPR. Over to you.
GDPR puts the fear of God up small businesses because they're afraid of the legislation that's coming in terms of how they have to be compliant on their email and everything else. And we know that email open rates are plunging. Not all, so email is not what it used to be. It's still a very, very powerful tool and a great tool in your marketing toolbox, but open rates are certainly down. Click-through rates are certainly down as well. So GDPR for me stands for growing deeper personal relationships. And that's the basis of what LinkedIn is all about. It's about connecting with people, engaging with people, and growing that meet, like, know, trust. And it's about fostering your kind of business connections through LinkedIn to start with, and also face-to-face networking. So the idea would be that you get introduced possibly via LinkedIn or maybe via Twitter, but certainly through LinkedIn. And then from there, you then progress that to where you actually meet them face-to-face. So it's kind of like networking before you go networking, and it's building the trust. And I think that going forward, this is going to be where LinkedIn wins hands down over any other platform, because it's seen as a business by accident tool by a lot of people. But if you use it correctly, you can hand pick the people that you want to work with. And that's the beauty of it.
Brilliant. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Growing personal and deeper relationships is the key to
To any business.
any business. Absolutely. So let's get started with the basics. Anyone who is not using LinkedIn, I'm sure everybody has got a LinkedIn account and is sitting there dormant. Nothing is happening. What would be your best tip for someone who is a complete newbie and don't know how to use LinkedIn? What is your first top tip?
Essentially, most people have a presence, but they're not present. So in order to make sure that they get seen, it's getting the profile sorted out. It's getting a good photograph. It's getting a good headline, and making sure that when people come to your profile, there's something of value for them to see. And again, most people make the great mistake on LinkedIn of writing their profile about themselves. I did this, I can do that, I can do this, we can do that, I can get you this. And it's not, it's about the problem that you solve. So step back a little bit and think about what it is what problem do I solve for my target market? And just think about who your target market is as well. So it's about working out who your ideal customer is, your target market, and then crafting your LinkedIn profile around that area.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned and talked about a good headshot, because I see so many bad ones or none at all on any profiles. And I personally don't accept any connections if they haven't got a headshot. Then, and I also see lots of people who have cropped a picture
Oh,
of
cropping.
a
Cropping is,
party or a wedding photo.
I know. And you can think, and like you think, who the hell is that person on your right hand side? Why have you included it?
Yeah,
And you get some people that are even dim enough to put their holiday photos on there,
yeah,
with a pint glass or a glass of wine in their hand. Don't do it. And again, just sensible photographs. I've actually seen some where from sort of women who have virtually nothing on, and you think, why are you doing that? Or just looking away, looking interesting up, or it just doesn't work. It's got to be full face, eyes and teeth, and just straight in, because that's how you build all that trust element as well, by having a good photograph to start with. But you're right, that's one of the key things that actually puts me off as well. Or they've actually set it up as a company and they put their company logo as their photo, which again isn't good.
So if you're doing that, then you ought to have your company page, isn't it, rather than a logo?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit like other platforms. You have a personal profile, which is you, telling the world what problem you solve, and you can have a company page. You can link your personal profile to your company page, and always worth doing that, because basically, when you actually look at somebody and you're going to do business with them, you also want to know what their business is. And it's like two wings of an aeroplane. You'd never get on a plane with only one wing. Yeah. So one wing is your profile, one wing is your company page, and the body, the engine of the plane, is like your strategy and how you present your media as well.
So after your headshot, what's the next thing which one should do? Should they look at the header design, or fill in all the bios and the information which is out there? Because there is a lot of information which you can use and leverage to showcase your expertise.
There is, but the basics are: make sure before you start doing a banner, make sure that you've got a headline that says what it is, that says what problem that you do, who you do it and who you solve it for, and some of the results that you get. Make sure that your headline is a value proposition. There's also an area called the public profile, where you should go in, because you've basically got two profiles. You've got the one that you see when you're online, when you're actually logged into sort of LinkedIn, and the one that people see of you when they're not logged into LinkedIn. So the public profile has a whole lot of areas on it that you can fill in. And it's worth actually spending time doing that. But again, it's quite an art form to work out what to say in the actual headline, because then you come on to the summary, and that whole area takes time to craft properly, to be fair, rather than just, people just jump in and just put any old stuff up there. But you've got to consider that you've now got media in there as well, that you can add media. And down the bottom of like the new format, you get 5 thumbnails. So those thumbnails are important as well. And again, it's important to craft what you put in there with valid descriptions as well as that. And I mean, there's a whole area here of what to do first. There's a whole checklist of what to do first. And I know you're a great fan of sort of processes and checklists.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to follow when you actually do your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, brilliant. Tell me a little bit about the 4 C's which you have created.
The 4 seasons of LinkedIn, okay? It's a bit cheesy, but it works brilliantly. The first one is create, okay? So you create a valid ideal customer. So you create something, a document, a very short, sharp document that tells yourself and the rest of your team who your ideal client is. You then build your profile. You create your footprint, your profile around that. The second C is C for connect, and that's about looking at what you do, your existing connections, who is it that you connect with, and basically an audit as well of what you've got. Okay, the third one is then converse, which is about messaging, which is about the content that you put out there. The fourth one is convert, and basically the convert one is you bring together all the 3 previous C's, and you think, okay, let's actually get like a pitch pack. I actually call them pitch packs, a working document together of each person, of each company that you want to then become a client. So you've researched the people in there, you know something about them, you're following them on other platforms, and you just think, okay, what do I need to know about this particular prospect before I can approach them? And there's like search, and then you do it properly by researching. And an awful lot of people do top line searches, and they think, wow, I know everything there is to know. But no, you need to think about it and stand back. But also in like the first C, the create, it's about working out what your plan is, what your goals are in terms of, you know, do you want to connect with marketing directors? Is it managing directors? Is it facilities managers? And then doing an audit of what you've currently got. So quite a bit of work that goes into that first initial stage.
So if I want to connect with local businesses, how do I go about it?
Very, very simply, you can just put the like the name of the town in like the search bar.
Okay.
Then you hit search.
The one at the top.
Yeah, the one at the top, and one of the tutorials we'll do is how to do this. And then you just press search, and then you just click on people, and then that will give you a list of all those people that are in, say, Hemel Hempstead, Watford, London, or anything else. Then you can start filtering them by applying the filters that come up.
So is there a way where I can see who is very active, and because I want to connect with those people and not those who just have an account and don't do anything on LinkedIn?
Okay, the way to do that would be then to look at each individual account, is then to go into each person's and look at their activity. And you can then see so you'll see articles, posts, and activity. If you look at posts, which is the middle one, that will give you a good indication of how active they are, how many days they're active, and it will also show you what they've also done in terms of how many likes that article, that post has got, or how many comments it's got. And there's a lot of people that say, you know, oh, person X is doing this and they're doing very well. Again, you can then go in and like the metrics don't really lie. You know, if like somebody's got 20,000 comments on their post, then you know that they're doing quite well. You know, if they've got 2,000 or 3,000 views of that post, then again, you just know that they're doing very well.
So what's the difference between a post and an article?
The long form articles are the ones that appear underneath your profile. So basically they are proper written articles. Posts have now taken over as the more important. Posts and updates are more important now than big long form articles. Basically what people did in the past was they would take their blog, they would repurpose that blog and rewrite it slightly for LinkedIn, and that would be an article. Those are getting less and less traction now because Pulse has all but gone, and the onus now is on more engagement on updates, which shows that LinkedIn as a platform is becoming more and more popular. I think it was Adweek that said year on year this year engagement had gone up 68% or something, or well, certainly well over 60%.
Wow. No, thank you for that. One final question. As you know, video marketing is very important, and these days video plays a huge part in any business's marketing mix.
Yeah.
Would you recommend uploading a video directly to LinkedIn or embedding a YouTube video on LinkedIn?
I would go with the native video option.
Okay.
So if you put a YouTube one on there, you're effectively taking people off LinkedIn, away from the walled garden.
That's playing on LinkedIn, isn't it?
No, it's not. If you actually have a YouTube link, it will take you off LinkedIn.
Okay.
So what you want to do, you kind of want to upload video to LinkedIn on like their native video platform, which most people now
Facebook likes their own video to be
because basically when it plays plays within LinkedIn. It doesn't take you elsewhere. The great mistake people make at the moment and still make is that when they put a link to an article, they put the link to the article, you click on the link and it takes you away from LinkedIn. And it's pretty obvious when you look at your viewing stats of that post that no one's liked it and no one's actually read it. Why? because
Yeah.
you're going away from LinkedIn. LinkedIn want you to stay on there, hence native video. And native video is now coming on to company pages as well.
Ah, okay. So, you get the transcription text on the video, which is synced to the video.
Yeah.
Is that done on LinkedIn, or do you got to?
No, there are some apps that you would probably need to look at.
Oh, I see.
One is called Clips, one is called Biteable, but also you can now upload a sort of text file to go along with it as well. But again, I'm not sure of the technicalities of that, because again, you and I can actually sit down and probably do that.
Yeah, that will be a really good way to upload one video once in a session.
Yeah.
And see how it works. Well, that's how I do on YouTube and Facebook, is upload a CSV file or text file onto YouTube to sync the video to the text. Yeah.
But as powerful as like YouTube video is, if you're taking people away from LinkedIn to YouTube, it won't do your LinkedIn footprint any good at all. So basically, it's uploading the video from your own file to LinkedIn.
Yeah, brilliant. No, thank you so much. And one final tip before we log off to all our audiences and viewers.
Well, basically, I think that the fundamental tip is to make sure that your headline says what it is that you do, and run that headline and that summary past a close colleague or somebody that doesn't know you and say, read my LinkedIn profile and tell me what it is that I do.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. And Angus, how can anyone connect with you or reach out to you?
The easiest way would be here on like LinkedIn, just Angus Grady. I think there's only two of us, and one of them is me. It's the LinkedIn Unlocker. I'm on Twitter at Angus Grady as well. But LinkedIn is my primary contact point, because I kind of see LinkedIn as my landing page, as my website.
Yeah.
Because basically my kind of LinkedIn profile will come above a website when people search on my name.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time and joining in.
Pleasure.
Really interesting and informative, and I'm sure we're going to do a few more of these sessions.
I think I'm penciled in for quite a few, yes.
I would like you to do a little, a look at my profile and rip it to shreds.
I've had my afternoon laugh. I'll go and have a look at it in a minute.
Thanks a lot, my friend. Thanks. Bye.
Take care.
And thank you to everyone for joining in. And I'll catch up with you sometime very soon. Take care.
Take care.